everybody, today I would like to tell you a short conversation between a man and a woman. Short conversation number 1. The woman said to the man, the bus was going to pick them up at around at 5 o'clock after the guided tour. The man wanted to know where they were going after that. And he said they were supposed to go look at some wildlife along the river. The woman commented they could be back at the hotel by 6 to rest for dinner, and then they could be back meet the girl for dinner. The man said they had forgotten about dinner, and he wondered what the dinner menu was. He was hungry already. Conversation number 2. The man once asked the man 2 if he had seen Jeff, and the man 2 replied, Jeff has gone into the showroom with the sales manager. The man once commented there was a client waiting for Jeff in the lobby, and he thought he wanted to call Jeff. What a nice thing for Jeff. The man 2 said he saw, and Jeff said it was going to take a long time. He wondered if he should let the client know. Short conversation number 3. The man asked Martha if she realized how late it is. He suggested she should be here by 9 o'clock sharp every day. The woman replied she was terribly sorry, and she said her bus had been delayed again that morning. She didn't know why. The man commented that happened sometime. He suggested she should want to try an early bus. Some buses took detours those days. The woman agreed with him, and she said that was what she should do. Short conversation number 4. The woman asked the man if he had a good vacation. The man replied it had been great. He had gone to the beach every day. The ocean had been a little cold for swimming. The woman commented it has been nice to get away from that rain for a while. They had so much rain while he had been gone that although they would be drowned. The man was sorry about that, and he said it would have been so much nice if she had come with them. Short conversation number 5. The woman said to the man she was afraid because she won't be able to go to the seminar she had the train to catch by that afternoon. The man wanted to know that what time she needed to be at the station. He said that seminar was really important with them, and they had John waited for that. The woman was sorry about that, and she said there was nothing she could do about it. It was a 2 o'clock train, and she needed to get there 1:30. The man commented she wasn't being good friend there. Short conversation number 6. The man asked Mrs. Chung how she was feeling that day. Mrs. Chung replied it wasn't so well because she still had the pain under her breast. The pain had been worse the night before, about 1 o'clock in the morning. The woman said her husband had been just about to call 911. The man commented he saw and he hoped that they could find what was causing the pain. He suggested looking at the X-ray pictures and see what was going first. The woman agreed with him, and she wanted to know where she could take the X-ray, and she hoped that taking the X-ray won't be so bad that time. Short conversation number 7. The man said to the woman he would like to see the display of recent electronic inventions. He had heard they were pretty awesome. The woman replied, that was in exhibition hall for number 4. It was about 1 kilometer from here, and she said he could catch a city bus, take a taxi or walk. It couldn't take more than 10 minutes. The man was very happy about that, and he said he could work and save the bus fare for later. The bus fare had doubled again. What a pain in the butt. The woman commented. She knew, and she said she took the bus every day and ended up spending lots of money on it. So sometimes she took the subway. It was better and cheaper. Conversation number 8. The man asked the woman if someone had called while he had been out. The woman replied, Dr. Mario's office had called to confirm his appointment with them the day after in the afternoon. She asked the man what he was seeing the doctor for. The man commented he would like to say, however, it was kind of personal. He was sorry. The woman agreed with him, and she hoped that it hadn't been rude of her to ask in the first place, because he had a meeting with Grace, and she said she would send him in when he arrived. Short conversation number 9. The man said to the woman he had thought Mr. Kim's presentation that morning had been really well prepared and really well organized. The woman replied, it had been quite informative, but Mr. Kim could have made it shorter to give up some time to ask questions. That's why Mr. Kim could also get some feedback from them. The man agreed with her, and he said he thought Mr. Kim has planned this that way to cover the detail within the time allowed. He actually hadn't have any questions because Mr. Kim has answered them on for him. The woman commented, not for her. She said she has some doubt and concern about the way Mr. Kim has wanted proceed with the project. Conversation number 10. The woman greeted Jenny, and she said it was great to see her again. She asked Jenny how Jenny's trip had been, flight and everything. Jenny replied, it had been a good trip and nice flight. The trip had been awesome. The sun, the ocean, the people and everything. Even the flight had been really good. Jenny especially loved the food that they had in the plane. It It has tasted just like her favorite restaurant main dish. The woman commented, "That was great to hear," and she suggested finding the car. She thought the car was on level C. She wanted to know how how Jenny felt to be back in Boston. Jenny replied, she had prayed that plane would be delayed, so she could stay longer in Florida.